Hello, I'm Sam Perez with your recap of the top headlines this week. That includes updates on the special session this week, bringing in new vouchers for private school tuition, details on a man who died in the hospital after a confrontation with corrections officers, and of course, everything you need to know about our beautiful weather this weekend. We're going to start with a live look over downtown Knoxville. We are seeing a warm start to February today. Meteorologist Tavian Whitehurst joins us now for a quick look at your forecast. Tavian, this should be a good weekend for getting outside.
Oh, absolutely. If you like the conditions that we saw over this past week, today is going to be even better for you. Giving you another look here from our tower camera where you're able to see there's still a little bit of fog that's hanging around the area. Downtown camera looked like it cleared up a good bit, which we definitely love to see. But you're seeing a lot of lowered visibility as we look to areas more central and over the east. Still 0 miles of visibility as we look to parts of McMinn County and down south towards Polk. So if you're trying to hit the roads, just be especially careful of those lower visibility sections. Your satellite radar, nice and clear though. Looks like maybe a little bit of spotty activity trying to squeeze its way out of the mountains, but we're not looking at any great precipitation chances. Temperatures ranging from the mid 40s up north to still some upper 30s down to the south. That difference is primarily because areas along the Tennessee-Kentucky line saw some cloud cover for a little bit longer. But we're expecting highs to pull their way into the lower to middle 50s with cloud cover that should hopefully and slowly fade. We look across the skies and they're pretty overcast at the moment, but we are expecting cloud cover to ever so slowly decline all throughout the day. And then to the nighttime, we'll have some mostly clear to, if not fully clear skies, which will allow us to lose a lot more heat than we did this morning, likely going to be falling down into the 30s. I'll bring you over into your futurecast for a moment where you're going to see exactly what I mean, that clearing as we get later on into your Saturday night, and then we continue to see that opening as we get into your Sunday and even beyond that as well. Clouds still going to be rolling in and out at times, but nothing that should get in the way of you having a fantastic day. So as we look over the next 3 days in particular, rising temperatures, lots of sunshine, far above average by the time we hit your Monday. And Sunday, you don't see it right there, but that's a Groundhog Day. So we'll take a look at what Punxsutawney Phil has in his forecast too. Sam, I'll send it to you.
Definitely want to see what he has to say. Thank you, Tavian.
Yeah.
Millions of public dollars will now go towards scholarships for private schools. The latest school choice plan by Governor Bill Lee won support late Thursday afternoon from both the House and the Senate. 20,000 new students can use a $7,000 scholarship for private school tuition. Half of those scholarships are set aside for families making less than $166,000 a year. The other half have no income limit. Critics call it welfare for the wealthy. Private schools can reject students for any reason, even a disability. Critics also say $7,000 won't cover even half the cost of most private school tuition. The bottom line, opponents of the scholarship say public dollars should go to public schools. Supporters say it gives parents more choices. It also includes a $2,000 one-time bonus for all public school teachers. A key change to the bill warns public school teachers can only receive that bonus if their school board publicly endorses the school choice plan by June of this year. On Thursday, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee celebrated the plan's passage after failing to expand the program last year. The governor called it a momentous day for students, teachers, and parents.
There's been a lot of spirited conversation and debate around this issue on both sides because we know that people all across the state, every Tennessean cares deeply about the future of our children. And I want to thank everyone who's engaged in this at whatever level, because this was an important issue, an important topic, an important debate. And now families can move forward with an opportunity that they have never had before.
For the rest of our coverage of the special session, including how your representative voted, you can check our website. A civil rights attorney is representing the family of a man who died after a confrontation with correction officers. He responded this week after the Knox County Sheriff's Office released body camera footage of the confrontation. We do want to warn you, some parts of this video may be difficult to watch. David Batts died in early January. A preliminary autopsy reported his death was the result of complications from the infection meningitis. The sheriff's office released body camera and surveillance video last Monday. It shows Batts as he was brought to the jail and the moments right before he was taken to the hospital. Deputies say he would not comply with orders, so they used a chemical spray and hit him. The district attorney general says the TBI will not investigate his death. The family's attorney, Ben Crump, said in a statement, quote, "The body camera footage just released raises deeply troubling questions about David's treatment while in custody." Crump has represented families in high-profile wrongful death lawsuits, including Tyree Nichols, George Floyd, and Breonna Taylor. We have more than an hour of the body camera footage up on WBIR.com and the WBIR YouTube channel. Another warning, the footage does show physical violence. A former Knoxville cheer coach will spend a year in prison for child sex crimes. Dominic Frizzle agreed to take a plea deal in that 2022 case. The former UT cheerleader and Premier Athletics coach will also be placed on the sex offender registry for the rest of his life. A federal lawsuit claimed he sent nude photos of himself and had oral sex with 2 minors who competed at Premier Athletics. Racist flyers are now turning up in Knoxville. Police here are looking into similar reports we're seeing in Sweetwater, Lenoir City, and near Chattanooga. Knoxville police say they're investigating at least one report about those flyers showing up in the West Hills community. The FBI is also aware of the reports. Investigators are tying those flyers to the Trinity White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. If you see one anywhere in East Tennessee, police want to hear from you. Well, January was a long month for a lot of us, and is it just me or did it just drag on and on? Well, from the freezing temperatures to snowy days to the post-holiday blues, it felt like the first month of 2025 would never end. If that's how you feel, good news. You can celebrate the start of February. We asked some people on the last day of January how they've gotten through a month that's felt a little more like a year.
This is how he wears it, huh?
Yeah, that's how he wears it.
The cold definitely affects business a bit.
My son graduated from basics, so it's been a pretty good January so far. We like family bonding time and try not to think about all the negativity that's going on.
You know, my family is the most important thing to me, so I just enjoy being around them any chance I get.
I've stayed in and took it easy, and so far got by good.
You can watch too much news. That's depressing.
I just don't really pay attention to it, like, at all. The great theologian, Bob Marley. Don't worry.
If you stay busy rowing the boat, you don't have time to rock it, so that seems to solve a lot of things for myself.
I'm like Willie. Take a toke, blow out the smoke, and forget about it.
I love it.
You know what?
Well, I know, the Bob Marley, it's got me in a good mood, and so does this weather.
Yeah, might as well. That'd be the perfect opportunity to just get outside, play a little bit of Bob, just soak in the sun over these next couple of days. And hey, not to harp too much on it, but yeah, January has put us through quite a lot, to say the least. The majority of this month, save for 6 days above average and 2 days right around it. Yeah, this month put us through quite a bit. The cold temperatures and even the colder lows that we've seen over this time period. Only 1, 2, 3 days that's at above average during this time period, especially that second to last week. Last week, 8 degrees on Wednesday morning, 13 on Tuesday morning, 12 on Monday morning. I'm shuddering just thinking about it. And then, of course, the precipitation. We had the snow in the beginning of the month, and then we had the snow and ice, and then we had the regular snow, and then nice little dry pocket before we had, a couple of mixes rolled through. A lot of our higher elevation locations in parts of the plateau and beyond, they stayed far below average and even saw that snowfall and that icefall for quite a long time. Places like Scott County out of school for a hot minute. As we look forward, though, things are looking up. Lots of sunshine during this time period, especially as we look towards your Groundhog Day and beyond, rising into the upper 60s by then. You're taking a look, I should say, at your satellite radar, where you're just seeing clarity across this side of the country. Some cloud cover trying to pull its way in, low pressure system moving its way on out, and that's exactly what we'll see on your Futurecast as well. High pressure is sitting far to our north in Canada at the moment, but that's going to slide its way towards New England in the coming days, and as it does so, it's going to sort of bulge further down toward the south. In doing so, helps us maintain our nice warm southerly air that's going to help bring us such nice comfortable temperatures even as we get through this first half of the week. So there's a little bit of a shift as we look over the next couple of days. Of course, we've had nice, comfortable temperatures sitting above average for a lot of it. And now we're taking it another level further into the upper 60s in these next couple of days. An average temperature as we look towards February, it's heading up. January is our coldest month of the year. So as we look towards February, temperatures are only up from here, continuing to rise up into the 50s and beyond as we get through the next coming month. And even when you look at our long range forecasts, which actually include the entirety of the month, whether it's the next week or so, the next 2 weeks or the next 4 weeks, all of them showing high opportunities of being above average in temperature, but also above average in precipitation. But you know what? That is something that we definitely need, okay? We've been below average when it comes to our rainfall overall, and it really seems to just be us in our area in particular. You're noticing maybe some severe drought in parts of Delaware and New Jersey, but here in East Tennessee, we're looking at the Plateau and the Southern Valley as well, where we've seen some of those conditions. Now, of course, a lot of the rainfall that we got as of late hung around to the north, so hopefully that next shot hits the Plateau a little bit better. But it's likely not going to be coming until a bit later on in the week, which means we have all the time in the world, Sam, to enjoy this beautiful weather. Plus, Groundhog Day tomorrow.
Oh, I know. So excited about Groundhog Day, but this weekend you might not want to be sitting at home watching TV, but later in the week when we get that rain, you might be. So here's a look at what's streaming now on WBIR Plus. You can check out a look at half the country being hit with snow while wildfires rage in California with our 10 weather recap, and a look at Josh Heupel's 4 years on Rocky Top. Or you can take a look at Pat Summitt's legendary delivery with words by her longtime assistant. We have your local stories 24/7. But again, might want to check that out later in the week because we have some great weather this weekend. And like you mentioned, it is Groundhog Day.
It is Groundhog Day. You know, I was preparing a couple of questions for you, Sam. Of course, Groundhog Day, one of those things, you know, you kind of forget about it until it finally pops up. But I even had a little bit of a quiz for you.
Oh,
if you will,
okay.
a couple of questions that we were going to continue to explore. I think we may be seeing those pop up in a little
Okay,
bit.
let's see those questions. And I have not seen these, so we'll see.
Let's see. All right. First question. What is the other name for a groundhog? Now, I will say, Sam, we're not answering these questions not yet.
Okay.
We're gonna be festering through. We're gonna be thinking about them for a little bit during the buzz tomorrow morning, during our 7 o'clock hour. That's when we're gonna roll them through. So first question being, what is the other name for a groundhog? Second question gonna pop up in just a little bit. You see those 4 options right there.
Oh, something to think about. We'll see.
Something to definitely think about. We got our next question that's gonna come up in a little bit. Which culture did the Groundhog Day originate from? The one that we know. So, okay, there are a lot of similarities that we've seen amongst other cultures, especially as you get kind of pre-medieval. So that'll be something to look at as well. Next question going to come up in just a little bit, talking more about some of the different groundhog traditions and the timing of it all over much of this time period, because, you know, it's a fairly old tradition that we've seen over much of this time period. So, of course, we talked about what culture it's going to be coming from. Next question going to pop up in just a little bit. Yes, the first official
Groundhog Day.
So it's been going for a couple hundred years now, so that'll be something to keep in mind as well.
Okay.
Next question gonna pop up in a little bit. This one's pretty easy.
Okay.
This one, I mean, you know, we talk about it pretty often.
I'm feeling good about that one.
Okay, yeah, so hold that one in your head.
Okay.
And then we got, I believe, about 2 more questions. How old is Punxsutawney Phil?
Oh my goodness.
I was surprised.
Okay.
I was surprised at the answer at this, but there is a little bit of a caveat, an asterisk, if you will.
Okay, maybe like a dog ears type vibe. We'll see.
Sort of. Okay, and then our final question that'll pop up. Give it a little bit of a second. Now, Phil, he may be a little bit, there's not another question. I lied. Maybe that's the last one.
Maybe we'll surprise you with one on the buzz. So
I'll come up with one more.
we'll be answering these. I'll be taking a crack at it, and we'll tell you what the right answers are on Sunday. Catch us talking about what's buzzing here in East Tennessee, including, of course, Groundhog Day.
Absolutely. It'll be a big one. We'll be sure to give you more coming up tomorrow.
We will. Well, thank you so much for joining us for the weekly recap. We will be back here on Sunday, and you can join us every weekend for your top headlines.